It was Bruge who introduced the poison. He had done it the way he introduced most things that would require weeks to absorb, in passing, at the end of a session, as a single sentence appended to a longer thought. He had said, while gathering his notes. He had left before anyone could ask a follow-up question. The debate began in the apartment on a Wednesday evening with the specific quality of debates that begin before anyone intends to start one. Kitu had been looking at the Seidensticker data for 2 hours and said something quietly without intending it to open anything. He said, "There are only 61 sites in the entire Congo basin from 400 to 1000 CE. 61 dated sites for 600 years, a basin larger than Western Europe." He said this not as drama, but as arithmetic. The way a man reports a number when the number is too large to accommodate through any means, except stating it plainly and sitting with what it means.
That is not what the Nachtigall data shows.
The Nachtigall data covers South Cameroon. South Cameroon is not the Congo basin.
The anchor zone.
The anchor zone is at the edge of the basin, not in it. Something moved in Eboa's posture, a very small adjustment, the kind that indicates a man is deciding whether to let something pass or engage it. He engaged it.
The Nachtigall record shows continuous occupation through Group Roman III up to approximately AD 420, then a hiatus, then resumption with Group Roman IV at 1165 CE. That is 700 years, but the anchor zone itself, the Bwambé-Sommet and Akanadi sites. The iron furnace record. There is no comparable hiatus at the furnace sites. The occupation continues. You cannot read the interior basin as the corridor's condition.
The lower Congo didn't break either. Ladio, 30 to 475 C. Kitala ware, 230 to 524 C. Roulette decoration adopted by Group Roman IV at 1165 CE, consistent with early Iron Age continuity, not outside replacement. The coastal corridor held. What happened between the anchor zone and the coast during the hiatus?
The room held that. What happened is the Congo basin.
What happened in the Congo basin is not the same as what happened to the corridor.
The corridor runs through the Congo basin.
It runs along its edge. The western corridor follows the forest margin. Quilukasai is interior.
My province has a sterile horizon 40 centimeters deep. 40 centimeters of nothing, archaeologically sterile. 700 years of it.
What is your argument? That the corridor collapsed?
My argument is what the ground says. The ground says 700 years of silence.
The ground says your ground was quiet. The coastal record.
It had become the kind of argument that does not advance because each position is accurate within its own scope, and no one has yet established a common scope. Eboa was citing the anchor zone, which had not broken. Kitu was citing the interior basin, which had. Kitala was citing the coast, which had continued. Each was right, none was wrong. and none was answering the question that Bruge had actually asked, which was not did it collapse, but what does the period after tell us about the period before? Devonte set down his pen. He had been facilitating, which in practice meant writing things down when the argument produced something specific, and asking questions when it produced heat without content. He had written on the legal pad in front of him, anchor zone, continuous, Eboa, yes. Interior basin, 61 sites, 401,000 C. Kitu, sterile. Coastal corridor, held. Kitala, yes. Kasai, 751,450 CE, sterile horizon. Nachtigal, 421,165 CE, hiatus, confirmed local. Idiofa, 3rd to 15th century hiatus. Seidensticker, 74% radiocarbon decline. Genetic bottleneck confirmed. Language claim, EIA languages possibly extinct during low-density period. Present Bantu languages may be up to 1,000 years younger than assumed. He looked at this list.
Can I ask something? When we say the corridor collapsed, what are we actually saying collapsed?
The people, the 74% decline in radiocarbon activity, the genetic bottleneck, very low population size until approximately 1000 CE. The Seidensticker language is not ambiguous. Widespread demographic catastrophe.
The language of the paper says probable, not demonstrated.
The genetic corroboration says.
The genetic corroboration says what it says for the Gabonese sample. That is not the whole basin.
It is consistent with.
Consistent with is not the same as confirmed. We agreed on this. We have been agreeing on this for weeks.
The ventilation system ran. Kitala had picked up his pen and put it down again.
Eboas. For the purpose of this conversation, say the 74% number is real. Where did they go? The people, 74% decline in the basin. Not 74% dead. Not necessarily. The paper doesn't claim they all died. It claims radiocarbon activity declined, which means sites declined, which means the number of people leaving evidence in the basin declined. Where did they go?
A silence of a different kind. Devonte turned his laptop to face them. On the screen, a map of Central Africa, the Congo basin outlined in gray, and beyond its edges, south, southeast, west toward the coast, the distribution of later Iron Age sites, the communities that appear in the record from 1000 CE onward in the regions surrounding the basin, the expansion of settlement that the scholarship dated to the 8th through 12th centuries CE, the period of the hiatus in the basin's interior.
The Seidensticker SPD is basin-specific.
Yes.
It counts dated sites inside the basin.
Yes.
It doesn't count what's happening outside the basin during the same period.
No.
And what is happening outside the basin?
He let them look.